Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this Littlelf surveillance camera. Actually, it's called a pet camera, so you see this pet sign, but of course you can monitor whatever you want, if it's a pet or child or just your home or your pool or whatsoever business. I mean, the possibilities are almost endless, and it is not the cheapest cameras, but it is one of the best camera. So I've been checking the specs a little bit, and it looks like it is really hard to find for the price. I mean, it's listed at the moment at about $42, and it's really hard to find something which is better than this one. You get two-way audio and all these nice specs. We have this I got it a little bit closer here. They say they call it reverse call. They support up to 128 gigabytes of internal storage, but the good thing, you get also free cloud storage up to, I think, 1 month. So this is really long. With a standard camera like the Wyze cam, which is one of the most famous cameras, you get only 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong, and this is much higher quality than the famous Wyze camera. You get 350 degrees panoramic view. With the standard Wyze camera you have just normal view, I think 110 degrees, if that at all. Of course there's the Wyze Cam pen as well, but you have to pay a little bit more than you are close to this price. You have video encryption, you can watch streaming, and it has motion detection. And the really good thing is you can add up to, I think, 50 cameras to this app, and this app can be used or shared between 5 people. So if you have a family of 5 people, everybody can install this app and watch the camera. And here we have the download QR codes and everything. So yeah, that's it. Maybe more information, not so much. Black. Yeah, so let's take it out of the box and see what we get and how it works. So the packaging was really huge, much bigger than comparable cameras, but you get also a lot. I mean, you get the power adapter, which is standard USB cable, which is micro USB. Then you get this mount, feels a little bit cheap, but I mean, this is something for inside, it's not for outside, so I think it should work. What I'm surprised to see is the thing, so to help to drill, why not, can be useful, and some instructions as well, after sale security card, some packaging list, product instructions, and yeah, I will show you that. If you are interested into more details and you cannot find that online, or maybe even if you already bought that and you need these instructions to check something out, it can always be helpful. It takes maybe a minute or two, but yeah, if you don't need that, you can fast forward. I think it's always good to have the full instructions online. I have seen a lot of people been really appreciating that. If you don't need that, yeah, just skip 1 minute or 2. I hope it's focusing more or less. So we get already close to the end of the whole thing. So I'm trying to refocus again. So maybe just 2 pages left with FAQ, and then we are already there. Hope we can see everything. It's a little bit tight maybe. So now we are done. Not yet, another 2 pages, but that's then really it warranty description, and maybe we got even some contact information. Haven't been able to see that. So that's it. I mean, yeah, camera looking good. We get this protection, and it's a little bit heavier, bulkier than the Wyze cam, which I always compare, but it has more quality, more features, so why not? And it's looking really nice. So we get even an Ethernet adapter if you like that. Here the power Ethernet and the memory card and the reset button. So I'm going now into all these instructions, and I will download the app and let you know how this works. So I've read the instructions now. It looks like it's not too complicated. What we need, of course, at the beginning is an SD card. I think it doesn't work without local storage. And yeah, what I always recommend is something like Samsung or any other main brand. Don't buy a cheap SD card. It can really make a huge difference between a stable camera and unstable camera, or especially if you lose, if you have lost power, like power outage, and the camera comes back, and if you have a cheap SD card, sometimes it gets problems and it cannot recover the file system, and you're in trouble and you have to reset everything and delete, or I mean reformat the card. And if you have a good storage I mean a good brand of the micro SD card, it can really help a lot. It can make a big difference. So I really highly recommend to use something like that. So here we can add this SD card. So the pins have to go to the downside, and it shouldn't be too difficult, and we can push it in just with the fingernail. And regarding the cloud storage, I'm not really sure. In the description online it says 30 days free cloud, but maybe it's not a rolling free cloud, but maybe it's just a 30 days trial, because in the manual they say you have to purchase storage space, which would be a really bad thing, because the industry leader, the Wyze, can provide a free 2 weeks rolling cloud, and that's a huge advantage. So but let's check that later. So with scanning this QR code, it guided me directly to the Google Play Store, to this LittleIf app, where I can start it. To install, the reviews are a little bit mixed. As you can see, they have a lot of 5-star, but also some 1-star reviews. And yeah, we'll see how this works. Sometimes they can be manipulated. You never know. So after downloading the app, you have to sign up for a new account. You can make that here, and then you have to enter all your credentials, of course. But first they want to know your country, and yeah, let's again go to here. I don't know why it was, yeah, it's a little bit different the first time. So, but at least they got the country, and now I have to enter my email, and then I probably click on obtain, and then enter the verification code which I get from the email. So the sign up didn't work. It's a little bit weird. So it really looks here, sign up. It says sign up, and I never got an email, so I could never enter a code and yeah, go next. But what I see here down, there's a customer registration, and now I will fill this out, and maybe this will work. So this app is absolutely annoying. I hope, I mean, at least to set up, I hope later on it will work much better, but maybe it's a part of the reason why it has so bad reviews. So to start again now, I think it really has to be this one here, click on sign up, and it has to be done from here. And you enter your email, country, email, and then you click on obtain, and then you should get the verification code in your email. You enter the code and agree to the like policy, and then click on next. The problem is just that it takes about 10 minutes to get the email to you, but when you click on obtain, you get only about 1.5 minutes to enter the code, and after that it will be invalidated. So there's actually at the moment for me absolutely no possibility to set up this account. When you pay $42 for such a camera and you cannot even set up the account, that's really bad. That's absolutely super bad, and that should not happen. That's absolutely a huge bad thing regarding the review, and no matter what it can do later on, this is a bad thing. This definitely should not happen. I mean, maybe you want to go to like on vacation, you order that on the very last, or like close to the day where you are departing, and you want to set up the thing, and it costs you half a day to set up the account. That shouldn't happen. So probably the best thing which you can do in this moment, when you try and these emails don't find the way to you within the time needed, just make a coffee break, relax, go outside, and come back, and maybe 10 minutes later it will work. So this is the case now. I have tried now 2 times, short time behind each other, and it worked pretty well. So I got the email now within a couple of seconds. I really don't know what has happened before now. So now we are here at the main screen of the app, and to add the camera we have to have it really close according to the instruction, and to click on the plus sign, and then we have to decide if we want to use wired or wireless. Some people have been had problems with the wireless, so if you have problem, maybe you try with the wired mode. Go close to the router, connect it with a cable, and then connect. Maybe you can set up the Wi-Fi mode from there when it's connected. So I'm trying the Wi-Fi now. So yeah, you have to make sure that it's blinking slowly red. So this is the case, and I go to next, and I enter the Wi-Fi password here. That's already here because I've already tried. It didn't work last time, but now I know what the problem was. It was because I was on the wrong Wi-Fi. So you have to select the right Wi-Fi here, the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi here for this camera, which means you have to select it here in the app. So that's here, 2.4. So I'm going back, and now I should be on the right Wi-Fi. It says only 2.4 gigahertz is supported. And what's important, to you not to use really strange characters here in the Wi-Fi password, but sometimes it's given by the ISP and you cannot change that. So hopefully it will really work. So we have to write password, we have to write Wi-Fi and the region, and we click on next, and hopefully it will connect now. At least it made some strange sound which I didn't hear the first time, so it looks like it's connecting. So also, if it does not connect, I highly recommend to maybe reboot your phone and reboot the camera. As you can see now, it is a green light. Camera ding dong. Yeah, next. Looks like we have to wait again.
Camera ready.
Camera ready, that sounds good. Right, yeah, we have to rename the camera. So we are now going to the LittleIf app. The really annoying thing is that it has to log in every time, and it needs, or it takes some time. So this I haven't with the Wyze cam. I don't know why this is. Maybe I could prevent this by do other settings on my phone, allowing to run it in the background all the time, but I think it will be still a difference to the Wyze cam. When I go to the Wyze cam, it's always online. So the problem is also when you push the button in the front to talk. I mean, if somebody wants to talk to you, like children at home, if you are not logged in, you don't get the push notification. So I really don't know how to deal with that. So anyway, I have been looking in the internet for some kind of other like people who are having other experience with this cam and the app, and it looks like, yeah, it is really a mixed thing. So it has quite some problems, especially with the login process, which I had, like the set up the account, which took very long till I got email confirmation. Really seems like they are using different email servers, and some of them seem to be really slow or almost not working at all. So it took me a really long time. I waited. I mean, I actually gave up already, and after half an hour I tried again and it was working. Then same thing with the Wi-Fi setup. It didn't work at the beginning, even when I was using simple password and I was on the same Wi-Fi, didn't work. So I just did nothing, waited till the next day. Next day I tried same thing and it was working. And yeah, same thing also with the alarm. I mean, you can set the alarm here on the main page. Let's start with the main page. We have the cameras here. I mean, as you can see, it says the page is called My Devices, so you can add a lot of cameras here. I have only one. I can dump it into the garbage here with this icon here, and I can share the camera with other people here. We have also the alarm settings here, and we have some cloud settings, and we can do 360 shot. I mean, you can start and then it starts making pictures, and it will show you a 360-degree image, more or less, as you can see. Now it's starting and it's combining it at the end. So I leave it like this. You can directly click on it and you will see the camera, and you can just drag it around and put it into any kind or almost any kind of direction. You can even point it up directly into the ceiling if you like. So the quality I will show you in the next section of the video, also comparison with the Wyze cam. I mean, it's not too bad. Here in live we can see that we really can zoom in, but at this moment here it's just like a software animation. The head isn't moving, so it's actually an advantage because other cameras don't have this. So here we can see also old footage here. We can go back and check, maybe like, yes, that. So here you can see we can go back in time, but there was a huge problem with the time setting. It took me also 2 or 3 days to adjust or like sync the time, and so it was showing like footage during the night, which was day, and day, which was actually night. But at least you can do that. But the thing is, it's coming from the cloud. That's probably the reason why it works so fast. This is from the cloud. When we go to the settings, you can see that here, camera settings, we have the video storage location, and it says cloud. Actually, we have a micro SD card inserted, but I can select this 100 times, click OK, and now it says micro SD card. When I reboot next time, it will tell me the footage is going into the cloud for whatever reason. I think it is just to prevent any kind of problems. They have a 30-day free cloud storage, and usually the free return, like on Walmart, or I think Walmart would be longer, but Amazon is 30 days. And so they try to prevent as much of problems as possible, so they switch to cloud within the 30 days, and probably a lot of problems with the micro SD card, they will come later, and so they can prevent returns. So I haven't been able to work really with the micro SD card because it always switches to the cloud. It's really bad. Even micro SD card information, it doesn't say anything. It just gives you the total amount of storage, but not what is used. That's also bad. We have a lot of information. I mean, a lot of settings we can change. That's actually good. Also with the alert mode, we can say, motion detection. We can set alert, sound alert, and also time frame, sensibility, and that's a really nice thing. But there is nothing like a frame which you can like exclude some areas of the picture and say, okay, don't alert me if there is movement in another area than the specified one, which you can do with the Wyze cam. So here it looks more or less actually good. You can change the route, you can see camera information, volume, and so on. Status light, you can turn it off to prevent that somebody sees the camera. That's I mean, and you can share, you can delete, you can set the alert. It's the same thing here. Then the cloud setup. So yeah, here we see that we are uploading to the cloud. Maybe if I would disable that, it would work with the micro SD card. I don't know, I haven't tried. We can delete things from the cloud, which is good in bulk, like the whole day. And yeah, we see just the order and subscription of the cloud. So we have also an album, so where we can see from every day like the images which I have been taken. So here we can watch the video. That took always a little bit long, I don't know why, but it is working at least from the cloud. So I have no idea how it will work from the SD card, because I haven't been able to switch to the SD card. So it is by day, which is good, so I can check also older things. And yeah, as long as the SD card probably has storage, or the cloud will be available. I think it was 14 days, can't remember exactly. So anyway, we have also the alerts, which are a nice thing. We have it also per day. What's not so good, we have just like something like saying motion detected, and there's no image on the left side. It would have been nice to see an image on the left side. So with the Wyze cam, you have the right away a picture on the left side. Here it's even worse. When we click on the image or on the entry, it usually, I don't know why it doesn't happen. So usually it asks me if I want to open that. So the good thing is we can yeah, okay, now the warning comes a little bit later. Found video, check it now. Yeah, I mean, when I click on it, I want it. So no need to ask me again. That's a little bit strange. So what it does, it goes then to the normal viewing part of this app, and starts at the time where it has been detecting something. So I can then directly go back in time from there, which isn't a bad thing if it works. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, so I'm going back anyway. So this is actually an advantage, but only, as you can see, only I've been clicking on that, it will show a picture on the left side. So with the Wyze cam, it's definitely better. Alert information has expired, whatever that means. it is a little bit strange. Also, you can see some kind of information looks also weird. Maybe we can go to the album and yeah, read this total 7 pieces. I mean, it looks like more like a student's work. It doesn't look like from a company which is on the market since 2 years and probably selling 90% or at least 50% in US. So it is like just like an alpha or beta version or something like that. Of course, you have some good things like the option which you can usually you should be able to select a couple of pictures here and delete all of them and such things. So that's not bad. I mean, in general, it works. It doesn't really fail. I mean, I didn't have any major crashes, but it's a little bit yeah, it is somehow a pain. It is not as smooth as like the Wyze cam works. I mean, also the Wyze cam has some problems, but this is like a little bit, yeah, I mean, alert. I mean, I really would like to see some preview and other things. So the whole thing for me looks like it was somebody started to develop a nice thing and they run out of money or whatsoever and they left it in a condition which is yeah, it can be used, but it is just not really nice and as it could be. So I mean, I'm not saying you can't use it, but there are some really a couple of things which I really don't like. I mean, also the connection, how it had to be connected at the beginning. I mean, Wisecam, they used the QR code. You can set everything on your mobile phone and then is everything transmitted through the QR code to the camera, which really makes sense because it has a camera and can detect everything. So here you're a little bit lost, and when you go to other videos or other forums about this camera, you can find a lot of people struggling to connect, to log in or to connect the first time to the camera. I mean, after you did it for the first time, it looks like it's pretty stable. That's the good thing. But the first time, everything first time account setup, first time connecting to the Wi-Fi, first time setting alert and those things. First time is really using. I'm not saying it's complicated because I don't know how it is. So I even when I made it right, so usually it was not working for the first time. And the website, if you go to the website, there's yeah, it doesn't look too good. I mean, no complaints about how the website is built. It looks like very modern. Yeah, you'd think, yeah, it's a really nice thing. It has this video. Yeah, here we can see, oh, yeah, looks like it's available in white and black. And features, and it has all these nice pictures and we can move around. The strange thing is they describe that it comes with these eco-friendly materials, and so I got either an old package or a very new package, I don't know. So looks like the website isn't updated too good. So infrared, of course it has infrared, but I think it is it's like the alerts work with a motion detection and not with infrared. That's really important to know if you want to point it out of the window. So it should actually work. It's not an infrared detection. That's important. So almost every page here looks the same. So it's maybe even one page, but there is not much more. Also installation, somewhere I found an installation video, but if you are hoping to find a real manual or full instructions in different languages, I think you won't find it. I have been trying around a lot and I couldn't find it. Also, it's hard to find some contact information from this company, you can go to the About Us, and when we go down you can find a contact field, but you have actually no clue. Here we have at least Skype, that's good, mobile phone and some Skype or even email. Yeah, okay, I haven't seen that. That should help definitely, but nothing about firmware update here. More information like really detailed instruction, troubleshooting, FAQ, manuals and so on. Not much to find here. So here we have a side-by-side comparison between the Wyze cam, not the pan but the normal cam, and the LittleElf cam. So on the left side we have the LittleElf, on the right side, as you can see, it's in the footage, it's the Wyze cam. The Wyze cam pan doesn't have better image quality, but it has even a little bit the wider image view or wider field of view, and you can see, but still even the normal Wyze cam has the wider field of view than the LittleElf. That's a little bit disappointing. It's not too bad, but it gives a little bit less of a field of view. But what we can definitely say is that the image quality is way better of the LittleElf than the Wyze cam. They claim that it's 1080p, and this is, I think, as far as I can remember, something like in the 700 area, so it, or even 600 area. I can't remember exactly, but it's definitely a difference. Probably it's 720 here and here 1080p, so huge difference. What I don't like is the white balance here. They have a little bit more coal. It's hard to tell actually. I mean, I definitely like the blue more from the Wyze cam than here on this side, but the rest here looks a little bit more natural, so it's a little bit hard to tell regarding the color. But what I'm interested is, of course, more detail. What we can see here on the tree, there's way more details also. Yeah, when you compare to this side, when we go to the window, I hope I can open that full size. So here I'm going to full size. Here you check the window. Here there's definitely something to see that it is open, or there's a window unit or something like that. On the other side with the Wyze cam, when we go here, there's nothing, absolutely nothing to see. It's even hard to see that it doesn't have the same color, but you couldn't determine what it is. Here it's either window unit or window is open. You can clearly see that, so there's definitely way more details. Also the trees, when you see the single leaves, yeah, with the palm tree here, and here it's just totally washed out. So I never really liked the image quality of the Wyze cam, but I think it's a trade-off between price and functionality. We get really a lot of functionality with the Wyze cam and the free rolling 2-week cloud. But definitely when it comes to image quality, then the winner is the LittleElf. By the way, I haven't been checking on the file size of the videos, but I think they are pretty much the same or very similar. I have uploaded them to my Google Drive, and for both of the videos, for the Wyze cam and also for the LittleElf, it took about the same time, so I think it's not big difference. So of course we also have images. Here we have same thing on the left side, the LittleElf image, I mean stand image. On the right side we have the Wyze cam. So you can see again more details on the left side and on the right side. On the right side, of course, we have this image tagging, which we can enable and disable. It doesn't have to be here, I just have it on this image. So when we go into detail, we can clearly see two things. Hope you can somehow get closer. Yeah, here the tree Hope we can get same thing here. And you can see the huge difference left and right. Definitely way more details. We can see the leaf, palm tree leaves here on the left side with the little elf, which we don't see on the right side. But also we can see, yeah, let's go a little bit to this side so we can see this even a little bit better. So of course we can see on the left side a little bit more details, but what we also see, especially here on the tree, that it is heavily over processed. Also around this chair here, I mean, way more artifacts like than here with the Wyze cam. I mean, actually already the Wyze cam is heavily over processing, but still it has still a nice soft shape, while this is really, it has really a lot of artifacts. Of course there are still way more details, but they can look a little bit weird when you look too close. So it eliminates some of the advantages of the little elf, but still, I mean, at the end you can see way more things. Here you can see that the window here is divided. Here it's almost impossible to see. So when I went on footage and clicked on info, it confirmed that the resolution is 2.1 megapixels, 1920 to 1080, I mean that's 1080p. So I now got the automatic information about cloud storage available, and when we zoom in a little bit you can see what it says. It says storage capacity 7 days and the period of service is 31 days. So for me actually looks like we have a trial period of 31 days, but in this time, during this time, we have a storage capacity of 7 days available. So looks like we have really to pay after 31 days, which is really disappointing, because yeah, the industry leader Wyze Cam offers a rolling cloud for lifetime, and you know, usually these cloud storage subscriptions, they cost a lot, so probably they don't say how much it will cost after these 31 days, but I guess it could be easily $5 a month, and it will be too much for me, but I still hope I will be able to use this camera with the internal storage, but probably it won't be as fast, of course, to scan through these online pictures. So this is my final conclusion after about 1 week of almost daily usage. I mean, it has been running for a week. I've been checking almost every day on the footage, alarms and so on, if it has been working. So it came at the beginning really with a super nice box with a lot of promises, and I mean, the hardware looked really good. So when we see at the hardware, it is definitely a decent piece of hardware, looks really stable. We have this nice push button which somebody can use to talk to you if it really works. If you are close to the camera, the sound is really good. Actually, I think it's a little bit above average, but it's not perfect, especially if you are a little bit further away. It's definitely far from being perfect, but when you're close, it's a pretty nice sound. Camera, of course, the lens, everything looks pretty good. I like it that we have this stand which is a little bit wider than the top, so if it's rotating, it is not, I mean, it won't be behind it, so it won't bump into something. There is nothing like a cable which you have to attach. The cable, everything like Ethernet, power here or whatsoever, I mean, everything goes into here, and that is stable on the ground. It doesn't rotate. Here we have this silicone or soft plastic or rubber ring which makes it super stable. so it is really designed to not fall if just kids or anyone is touching it. It is super stable. So when I compare it to the Wyze cam, which I am always talking about, so total size is probably about the same. So total weight, total size is about the same. So the thing is a little bit a problem with the Wyze cam. It's almost everything is rotating. So I mean, it has this nice USB power socket which you can use to power something else, but this will rotate, so it helps a little bit. I had the blink camera communication sensor on top of that, so it's rotating with the camera, no problem with that. But you have to plug this in here, but the stand won't move, so it's not a big disadvantage. Overall, at the end, it needs a little bit less space. The camera is a little bit higher. If you plan to use that on a window to point out of the window, the Wyze cam is a little bit higher. As you can see, the camera module looks a little bit bigger. So what I have found, the field of view with the Wyze cam is much wider than this one. The Wyze cam they have, I mean, that's the Wyze cam pan. They have also the normal Wyze cam, which is about half the size. So if you would cut that in half, so that's the size of the normal Wyze cam, which is much smaller than this one. But I mean, I found it only fair to compare both the rotating style, and as you can see, I mean, they are pretty similar. If you want to buy some really small device you can put at a window, I mean, almost like stick on a window or on the fridge or whatsoever, I highly recommend the small Wyze cam. I will also put down the link into the description, of course, also for this camera, for the Wyze cam pan, so you have everything what you want to choose from. Regarding style, it's an individual thing. This looks a little bit more funny, more like a robot, maybe really for children. This is a little bit more the modern style, like square, but overall no big difference. They do same thing when they boot up, they rotate. There's no big difference. I've had the impression that the Littlelf camera was booting a little bit faster, so you have power outage, then it comes back a little bit faster, it really connects fast again to the Wi-Fi. But actually both of them are really stable. So there are older cameras, I mean not from this brand but from other brands, which are really struggling after power outage to come back on the Wi-Fi. So sometimes you go on holiday and or on vacation, and then after 1 hour or two you have a small power outage and your camera will be offline. So that seems not to be the case with these two type of camera. That's a really positive thing. So what's my final conclusion and recommendation? I'm definitely not saying it is a bad camera. I cannot say it is not working, but there are some problems around, and I would definitely say it doesn't have the same level of professionality as the Wyze cam. I mean, of course, we can see there are a lot more sold. 11,000 reviews or ratings and 5,000 ratings compared to 337. I would really say if you have specific needs which only this camera can fulfill, like a really high resolution 1080p or two-way audio, or this really nice button here that people can really talk to you. These are things which are not available with the Wyze cam, so it is a little bit hard to compare. They are in a similar market, but they have some specific individual options. I mean, this has the wider field of view. If you want to go with something really cheap, maybe stick on the fridge or window or whatsoever, directly pointing out of the window. I have really had really good experience with the Wyze Cam, the normal. So I have 2 of these and 2 of the Wyze Cam Pen, and they are working together really nicely. The app is updated every now and then, and maybe every 2 weeks I get a firmware update. So you really can see they are taking care, and there are always, I mean, now they are working on face detection, and so they are really pushing and pushing. So with this company you don't get this feeling. For me it looks more like it was there was a lot of work invested 2 years ago. Also definitely a disadvantage, so that you cannot just specify an area of the camera which you want to track. So I mean, regarding the app, definitely huge advantage with the Wyze Cam. I mean, at the end you have to decide on your own. I think these two, when you are looking into a rather cheap camera which is still working, these are really nice cameras overall, but there are differences, and I will put down everything into the description down there, so you can check all these 3 listings out. And these are cameras which I know. Of course, there's also the Blink Cam. That's this camera, the all new Blink XT2. They had some connection problems, but it's always good to mention that, I mean, sometimes it is helpful when you have a camera where you don't need any cables. I mean, it's supposed to last 2 years. Here you can see that 2-year battery life. I mean, you can place it anywhere, inside, outside, whatsoever. It is waterproof. You can even use it like a deer camera, and it has huge advantages. It even can record now audio, not only record, it has 2-way audio. The audio is even better than with the Littlelf or with the Wyze Cam to record. Audio recording is really good with this one. I mean, it's not the same thing, but maybe just good to know that also something like that exists, and you don't have to work with power, and it gives you much more Wi-Fi reach. And yeah, I will put down everything into the description, so you can decide on your own if you want to go with any one of these. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave anything in the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things, and especially if you already have your own experience or maybe problems or questions regarding this Littlelf camera, would be really interesting if you could leave anything down in the feedback area. I'm really happy always to talk, learn new stuff, and maybe I will be able to help you. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.